Hey, welcome to Tabletop Skirmish Games. I'm Lee, and in this video you'll see an overview of the GALLOWDARK Mission 1.1 Reinforced Chamber. You'll find Mission 1.1 on pages 84 and 85 of the Into the Dark book. I played this mission a few times with some different kill teams, so I thought now would be a good time to go over the rules and just do an overview of this mission. If you're interested in the Into the Dark book and would like to check out a review, then that's up on my channel already, and I've done loads of content for the new Into the Dark Kill Team box set. And if there's anything you like from this video, please check out my sponsor Firestorm Games. I'll put a link in the description down below. That will take you to their website where you can save up to 20% on all your hobby products, not just Kill Team, loads of other games that you can think of, so it'd be great if you could check them out. You'll also be supporting the channel as I get a small commission from every sale made, so that'd be awesome. And if you do go and have a look, thanks so much in advance. It's really cool of you and I really appreciate it. Okay, let's get started with Reinforced Chamber. So you can see you've just got some simple paragraphs, not too much to go through, pretty straightforward. And then you've got the map to build the kill zone. So here it is. I've set it all up as per the map. Now the map you can see is labelled A2, A4, that kind of thing. And if you flicked right to the back of the book, the inside cover, you've got the kill zone key reference. So there is a lot of this, flicking back and forth, and I think I'm going to have to photocopy it. I was tempted to cut the back page off. I'm not going to do that. And I think that'll make things a lot easier. And then you can see you've got all these numbers here as well, all the different C's, and they're going to apply to the ancient apparatus. And these feature as the objectives in the game. So you'll see these on a lot of the maps in different layouts. So we've got our map, we've followed that, we've laid out the terrain. Now we're ready to start going through the rules and playing this mission. The mission rules are pretty straightforward. We've got two objectives. We've got to secure the area and restart the ancient apparatus. To restart the apparatus, we've got a mission-specific action, and this is called Power Up, and it's going to cost 1 AP. An operative can perform this action if it controls a dormant terrain feature, and that terrain feature is no longer dormant once you've used the action, so you can only do it once per mission. The core rules on page 69 of the core book tell us that we need to be within white of the centre of an objective to control it, but in the Into the Dark, the rules are slightly different. You now need to be within black of the ancient apparatus, so you've got to get in a little bit closer, which makes sense in this environment. The rule where the total APL characteristic of friendly operatives within the correct distance of the objective is greater than that of enemy operative. That is still the same, so follow that rule as normal. And here you can see a Grey Knight has snuck in, and now each of those models has an APL of 3, so this objective is tied at the moment. But if his buddy joins him, now we've got an APL of 6 for the Grey Knights, 3 for the Intercessor, and so the Grey Knights are controlling this objective now. There's 6 ancient apparatus in total on the board to use for objectives, and what I do is I put a dice on the pillar that they're attached to. When one of the player controls one of the ancient apparatus, I then remove the dice, and that player keeps hold of the dice to show that they've got that point. And so we don't replace the dice because you only do it once. So once that dice is taken off, the player that carried out the power-up mission action keeps hold of that dice in a pool. There's potential here for 6 victory points with the power-up action, and the way it's spread out on the board, you've almost got 3 in each half of the board, so it could be very close. So a lot's going to be decided on the mission objective number 2. And that mission objective comes into play at the end of the battle. So at the end of the battle, for each sector friendly operatives control, you're going to score 2 victory points. The mission rules tell us to secure the area, friendly operatives control the sector if the total APL characteristic of friendly operatives wholly within that sector is greater than that of enemy operatives wholly within that sector. So again, Marines against Marines is going to be pretty tight, but in this example, there's 2 Grey Knights there, so they're dominating with a total of 6 APL. With 1 Intercessor, it's now 6 points to 3. 2 Intercessors is 6 all, so that would be drawn, but if you can pop another one in there, Intercessor number 3, that'll snatch the victory for the Intercessors with 9 points of APL. There's also some extra rules for the Spec Ops campaign. So if you're playing this mission as part of that campaign, you've got to go with these rules as well. So you've got a mission bonus and a Spec Ops bonus. I haven't played with these rules yet, so I'm not going to include it in this video, but they're on the page 85 if you'd like to check those out. I've tried this mission with my Imperial Guard kill team, and even though there's 14 operatives there, they just struggled. They just died so easily. The intercessors who were going up against them just tore them apart. But the intercessors, I've played them against all different ones now, against different opponents with orcs, played against Space Marines, the Firstborn Space Marines, and they've done really well. So they've performed really great. I haven't tried the Grey Knights yet in this mission, so this is what I'm looking forward to and hoping to give those a go tomorrow. So I'll let you know how that gets on. In my 6-man intercession squad kill team, I've got 2 Stalker rifles. So they got the heavy weapons. They can't move and shoot. But in this mission, it's been great to just place them by a door in cover, or spend the first round getting them into position behind some cover so that they can really take shots at the enemy as they move towards those apparatus. I kept my 2 intercessors with the Stalker rifles further back than this, but in this position they can easily cover that apparatus. You could put one on the door as well, and then use one of your other, maybe your close combat ones, to take the other apparatus and really dominate a section. So with all the shots and the double shooting available, it's going to be pretty hard to, overcome the intercessors in one of these sections, certainly if you put 3 on it. Rather than the intercessor with Stalker rifle, I think it's good to get your assault intercessors up close and push them in there to really take on the enemy as they start coming into each of the sectors. And you can see here, I've got my assault intercessor ready to take on the Grey Knight. But this would be a pretty cool battle, these 2 against each other. But of course, that's going to make this intercessor at risk from being shot by one of the other Grey Knights. So it's really important choosing the right operatives for the mission and then playing out the tactics where you push forward with your tougher close combat ones, and then maybe use your heavy weapons to dominate from a point where they've got cover, and then they can take control of the whole section with some nice corridors of fire. One thing I've found with the games I've played so far in the open play, when you go through the setup operatives step 7 of the mission sequence, the defender sets up all of their operatives first, so the attacker gets to watch where they place them and then they can react to that. And that had a big effect on airlock, because you could choose to just leave a section out completely. In this mission, it's not so bad, and again, you react into where they're going. Maybe you're putting 3 on a door while they're putting 2 on a door, making them think that you're going to move 3 into a sector, so perhaps they'll take some of their operatives back and start moving towards that sector too. But then as they start moving their operatives that are further away down to the sectors they think you're going to dominate, you could just dash up and then start moving into the sector at the top. So you've got the option really, you could spread it out, have a couple in each, certainly with the intercessors 2 in each, or you could put 3 into 2 of them and leave that top one alone and just take a gamble. I like this mission because you've got those 6 victory points from the 6 different apparatus, and there's 2 in each of the 3 sectors. So if you give up one sector and focus on just 2, you're automatically pretty much giving up 2 of those victory points, and then it's a risk to see whether you'd get those other 4. You could lose all of those too. If both players split up evenly, then there's a good chance you could both get 3 of these victory points each, as the objectives are 3 in each half of the battlefield. And then that would leave a big fight to see who controls those sectors and who's got the most APL at the end of the battle. Again, if you give up on one of those sectors, you're going to lose 2 points automatically. So fighting in 3 of them is pretty even, and it could really go down to the final sector. So yeah, really interesting, with 12 points up for grabs altogether, 6 individual points throughout the battle, and then the opportunity to get 2 victory points for each sector really makes this a fun scenario and a great one to get started with, because I think it could easily go either way depending on who you assign to each sector. Next time I play this, I'll be leaving my Imperial Guard out. This melter gun is crazy good though, it's insane when it hits. but they just die too easily. Even with 14 bodies on the board, as soon as they're rolled, they're pretty much getting killed in one shot, especially good up against Space Marines or anything like that. So yeah, I'm going to leave out the Imperial Guard, but I am looking forward to trying out the Navy Breachers, especially this operative. I think this would be fantastic in a mission like this because of the unique action, the breach point action. And for this, it tells us that it costs 1 AP, and you place your breach point token so it's within black of the operative and a terrain feature no more than black thick. And then friendly Navy breacher operatives can move through parts of that terrain feature that are no more than black thick as if they were not there, so long as they do so within black of that token. So how cool is that? You can just cut through the wall and then your operatives can go through it. But it doesn't say that the enemy can, so it looks like it's only the friendly ones who can move through it. So that's really great, and that would just really negate the need to line them up at the specific doors. So you could just go into one and cut through the walls and move through and take the other sectors. I've got to say, I've played a few missions now and I've really enjoyed it. It's been great fun. Made a few mistakes, but that's all part of the game. Once you make them and you learn from them, you can move on, not do them again. Airlocked's pretty fun. Played that a bunch of times and that's really interesting, especially in the setup. Haven't tried Subsidence yet, so that's what I'm going to have to do. But I did Desperate Raid. That was alright. Messed up on the rules a little bit on that. But again, next time, at least we know. This one was really good. Deadly Hangar. You can turn the lights on and off, which affects cover. And so really cool when you turn the lights back on and the enemy's all out in the open. I really enjoyed that mission. And then Maze Breakout. That was an interesting one. I played my Imperial Guard, 14 operatives, up against the Custodes, who only had 4, and I didn't hardly get any. I only got 3 off the board. I needed to get 9 off the board to win. So all these missions still to go, loads to play, and as you keep going through the book, there's even some more missions later on. So there's 9 at the beginning and a load more here. So you're going to have lots of gameplay with this. You can just play these missions a good few times each, and I'm sure you wouldn't get bored of it, especially if you're playing against other kill teams too. So loads of gameplay from this set. Really impressed with it, and I cannot wait to see what's going to come for the next box sets over the year ahead. If you haven't picked up Into the Dark yet, check out my unboxing video. I'll go through everything there. I've made videos on how to prepare the terrain, paint the terrain. I've gone through how to build your operatives for each of the 2 kill teams included. And I've made painting videos as well, so you can see how I've painted the crew and the Navy breachers in quick, easy techniques to get them tabletop ready in no time. I'd love to hear how you've been getting on with Into the Dark and playing the missions, especially this one, the Mission 1.1 Reinforced Chamber. So let me know in the comments section below. It'd be great to hear what you think and how you've been getting on. But for now, thanks so much for watching. Hope you liked the video. If you did like it, please hit the like button, subscribe for more videos like this one, and don't forget to hit that notification bell too to join me here next time on Tabletop Skirmish Game. I'd like to say a huge thank you to my Patreon supporters who make these daily videos possible, and if you're interested in joining the community, it'd be awesome to see you there, and I'll put a link for that in the description down below.